I suppose for me, my journey started in 2020 with both things, really. So I was just about to lose my job. I was feeling quite threadbare. So it was COVID, and I was obsessed with watching the news, weren't we all? And one day, I was watching the news, and it just seemed to highlight all the problems in this world. So they were saying that black people were 4 times more likely to die than white people of COVID itself, and I didn't understand that. I thought the NHS is brilliant. What's really going on? And as well as that, they said children as young as 4 and 5 were struggling with health issues. So, to cut a long story short, one day, I don't know why, but I just picked up a pen and started to write. When I read it back, I felt better. It cheered me up. It was just a distraction, something to do. But the more I read it, and I read it for a couple of weeks after that, I thought, I like that little story. And it's kind of grounded in truth. It's just teaching children to believe in themselves, don't worry too much. And so I thought, listening to this gentleman about pictures, I thought if I could put beautiful pictures, and I already knew how that each and every one should look. It had to be set in the 70s. I could maybe turn it to a book and share it with children if they were struggling with confidence or courage. So that's what I did. Went to Google, put in this name, went to Trustpilot, that'll do. The lady came back to me and said, the editor, have you got 10,000 words? And I laughed. What am I playing? So I got back to her, I was just myself. I said, 10,000 words, you're right. I've got 2 grandkids who hate going to sleep. And 10,000 words, they would love that. They would stop listening ages before, but that would be the perfect distraction for them. No, I don't have 10,000 words. In fact, I would be asleep before then. I want it to be short and sweet. This is all I've got. And I remember her coming back to me, and under her signature, where we now see pronouns, it had the words "I care," and I knew she'd read it. To cut a long story short, that book has now gone global. Just last week or the week before, I was at the English Reading Hub, because lots of schools are failing, and my book was going out among schools in the UK. I think then it went out to about 40 schools, and I was asked to speak. Now, going back as a public contributor, around the same time, really, and again, just needed to do something different back then in 2020. A friend had said to me, pre-COVID, she said, you should get involved. You're passionate about representation, and you always sort of say how brilliant the healthcare system is in the UK, and what they've done for your husband who's had cancer twice, your father who's had cancer and strokes and dementia. So I'll get involved. So I thought, let me join the call. So I joined the call around the same time, interestingly enough, not really thinking that it would take me in the direction that it has. But after that call, it was with Gary and Lucia, I felt very purposeful. I felt very nourished. And I felt like I had a voice. So after that, I was asked to join quite a few calls, and I enjoyed each and every one. So much so that now I've actually crossed over the divide and have gone from public contributor to PPI officer.